You're tuned in to another episode of Finding Life Podcast, parent-to-parent coaching corner, real conversations that help us heal, grow, and rise with purpose. I'm Life, alongside Coach John, and together we explore what really matters. Today's episode, Repair is the Real Power, Modeling Growth in the Home. We're breaking down why it's a trauma response to think you have to get every decision right. Our real strength comes from repairing, reconnecting, and modeling growth for your kids. Let's get into it. What's going on, y'all? We here at another episode of Finding Life Pod.
Yo.
We jumping on here. We jumping right here with grown folks talk because we didn't had the conversation with the tweens. We didn't had the conversation with the teens.
Yeah.
Now it's time to have a conversation with who created it all.
Right.
Them parents. And now this is module 7. And so let me just, before we even get into it, let me talk about, and I'm not going to say module 7. Y'all know this is episode 7. We're going through all of the different modules that you have in your space, so then you can be able to see how we work and these things in real time. But let me say this. I know this has been difficult, bro. I know this has been difficult for them. I know we've had some revelations and some reflections and some downloads and it's been a lot.
Yeah.
It's been a lot.
That's a part of life.
But that's a part of life.
Journey in life, man.
And so I'm saying this to y'all now. I'm proud of you. Okay? I'm proud of you for you putting in the work. I'm proud of you for not giving up. I'm proud of you for not converting back to your old ways and continuing to push through, because your children deserve to meet you for real. And I'm grateful that you've taken this journey, not just with us, but for yourself. And I just continue to tap in with us, continue to share your journey, share some of the trials, the tribulations, but also let's not hesitate to share the wins, because it's in the wins that inspirations happen. So what are we talking about today, brother?
Man, we talking about repair is the real power, modeling growth and apology.
So let me see. I need to look at this too, because I tried to figure out. Let me see. Let me pull up. Let me go back in the way. You know, we got them lights, and I'm a little old, so I need to look and see what that say. Why are we talking about this? Talk to me about why we talking about this.
Well, we're talking about this to really help our parents understand that growth doesn't come from getting it right, but from how we respond when we get it wrong. So this week we're just going to focus on modeling repair, humility, and resilience for our children.
Move that on the other side, that light. Yeah, appreciate you. So the reason is we're trying to get it from there too. And you look, we can't get your face. So modeling, I'm sorry. I want to make sure that we are doing everything that we did. Everything is everything. You understand? Because sometimes y'all, when ADHD, things go off. So
we're gonna have to cut this part out. I gotta put my Invisalign back in, y'all.
I don't have dentures. This be the real part of what we're doing, y'all. So y'all are here with the real recording. And let me switch up some stuff. I'm over here with my AirPods in, with my keys in my pocket. I am not prepared.
You just think
here to be all that I need to be for these families. So, with that being said, brother, why we here again?
Man, we are here to help our parents understand that growth doesn't come from getting it right, but from how we respond when we get it wrong.
So we've been talking to your kids. We've been talking to your kids about making mistakes and that it's okay to make mistakes. Mm-hmm. Problem is, do you know that? Do you know that it's okay for you to make a mistake as a parent? Because I recently realized that the fear of making mistakes, when you think that you have to make every decision right, that's a trauma response.
Break that down to us. So
thinking that you have no room for error, that means you lived a life in which you had to be hyper vigilant, hyper discerning. You did not have room for error. If you spent that $10 wrong, it could be devastating. If you made the wrong decision with decisions.
Yeah.
So it's very important that you're able to tell kids that they're able to make a mistake, but we're talking about modeling. So how are you with yourself when you make a mistake as a parent? Do you beat yourself up as a parent?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you give yourself grace as a parent? Do you punish yourself? What is it that you do as a parent? So kind of what's the perspective that we really are coming from, John, that we want our parents to kind of be in the mind of here
Well,
through this conversation?
well, the perspective is, kids don't need perfect parents,
Mm,
right?
mm,
We want to start there. But they need parents who can model repair. And we talk about this all the time. Just modeling, period. They need the parents who can model repair. And they learn emotional growth by watching how parents own missteps, how parents say sorry, and how parents keep showing up after a mistake.
How do we go back to a time? I love this dynamic because you're not a parent yet,
Right.
right? And so go back to a time as a child
Mm-hmm.
that not even just a time. What set your core on your ability to please? Like we talk about being a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that come from for you?
Um, Man, I want to say I think it came from a feeling of almost not being seen,
Mm,
right? It's like, yeah, I know I'm here, but you know,
yeah, yeah.
I think it came from that, and so it was, or not almost felt like being heard,
Mm-hmm.
or needing, um, I wouldn't say approval, but I don't know. It's like not wanting to feel like being in a space of like constant loneliness. Like,
So
if that makes sense.
I'm trying to catch it because the thing that I think about, and I thought where you were going was the praise that comes from pleasing, right? And a lot of kids want to stay in that praise light,
Hmm.
right? So I remember
That's an aspect of it. Yep.
I remember my daughter, and I think it's really weird. You remember? I don't know if you remember Kamaya as a little bitty baby,
Hmm.
but she was really smart, right?
Still
She
is.
was yeah, still is, right? But
Hmm.
she hallelujahs, ABCs at months old,
Oh
like
yeah.
she
Yep.
was really smart. But as a parent, it became a thing where I noticed she really loved attention because she would sit there and tell her ABCs and make you clap for her over and over and over and over and over again. She would just like sit there in front of your face and count to 10, and you would have to say yay the same excitement every time she did it,
And if
right?
not,
What she would grab your hands and she would make you clap, right? She would make you like yeah.
see, little Kimmy.
Early,
Hmm.
please, the praise that comes from pleasing is what she connected to, right? And so oftentimes kids will connect to the praise that the parent, oh, you did such a good job. Oh. So they start trying to please because soon as you don't do that, the opposite of pleasing is disappointing.
Mm. Yeah.
And you know what was worse than a whooping? And it's portrayed everywhere. I'm not mad at you. I'm disappointed in you.
Mm.
And that,
Yeah.
oh my God, just beat me.
Yeah.
Just give me a whooping,
Yeah, you
right?
whoop me. I
Just
take
whoop
the
me. I can take
whooping.
the whooping, but you
I
being
could cry,
disappointed.
be upset, and be going on. But disappointed, I don't know. That settles in a different way.
And that is what the question becomes is how do we help kids not internalize? When we ask the question, why do kids internalize this so deeply, pleasing and disappointment so deeply?
Yeah.
That's why. At the core, it's the mama goose. Are you my mommy? Right? It's pleasure, pleasing, praise. I want that. I need that. Dopamine. Oh my God, I need it.
Yeah.
Disappointment happens. The complete opposite.
Hmm.
I don't want that. I don't want that at all. And depending upon how that you delivered as a parent, you delivered that disappointment,
Yeah.
is literally the depth of the level of intensity that it will go and it will penetrate for them.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Makes
So
sense.
I have to ask these parents, what messages are they getting? What messages are they giving? right?
Mm.
Inside of the home, car ride. How often do you speak about what will disappoint you or what has disappointed you in a way that's so final that your kid is almost sitting behind you picking it up like, dang, that is disappointing to them?
Mm.
Oh man. And they're continuing like they're just taking these labels on one at a time.
Right. How how do how does a parent go to, I guess, correct that
Mm-hmm.
early on, right? If you still have some younger ones, and you may
Mm-hmm.
have some parents who have older kids, but even those who are older, like what's that aspect of? Because some parents may, you say you, a lot of them will probably hear that disappointment. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the kids will hear that from their parents a lot.
Yeah, yeah. It's not even just hearing the disappointment. You know, a parent will say, like the first time, sometimes it may wait until you're a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sometimes it's 6, 7, right? 6, 7, right? Years old.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the when you plant that seed of disappointment, whether that you're watching a show and their favorite character did something on the show and you responded to the show and was like, oh my God, I will beat him. I will whoop his butt. That is the worst. They going you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to look at you like, oh my God.
We can watch something else.
You know,
Okay, I don't even
so
want to be that for Halloween no more.
that so how they correct it and how they begin to it's pulling up weeds. You got to look at it like a garden. If you look at your
Mm-hmm.
relationship with your child as a garden, that's the best thing that you can do, because there's good things there and then there's also bad things there, and it typically the weeds come when there's neglect for a time period. Don't nobody care about what's going on. Like, I hope y'all heard all of that that's happening right outside the office in the studio. But when you can look at your life, when you can look at the relationship with your children as a garden, then it will help to deal with that, because how you fix it, you don't fix it by just planting more good seeds.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go and actually pick up those weeds. That's where apologies happen. That's where accountability happens. That's where vulnerability happens. That's where you're modeling that.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go and clean. How you fix it is like a garden. You have to go and clean it up,
Mm-hmm.
right? And change the way in which you are tending to your garden, because that's where the weeds came from in the very beginning. And so um, I ask you from a child's perspective, or for that young, being able to reflect back to that
Mm-hmm.
innocence that you have as a child. What did you need, or how could your parent have built that safe space without rescuing you? Right. A lot of times that's the thing that parents, we don't we don't neglect you on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We're not neglecting our kids on purpose. We're not like, oh yeah, screw it, we're gonna just let them deal with it. We lived a life likely that we had to do too much,
Mm-hmm.
right? But that too much became normal,
Mm-hmm.
right? Where we had to endure a little too much, we had to grow up a little too fast, but it became slightly normal. Where 15, 16, 17, you looking at them like, what do you mean? Like, you are so far behind. We were just so traumatized in how we came up, that we didn't get the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
We were so traumatized by how we came up, we didn't have the opportunity to be a kid. And so when we talk about, as a parent, when we neglect the kid, most times it's because we're trying not to baby them or rescue them or coddle them,
Mm-hmm.
right? We're trying to teach you how to be more of a leader or stop being so lazy. Whole time, they're living in peace. And you never did that as a kid. You didn't get the opportunity to live in peace as a child and think
Mm-hmm.
like a child and be a
Right.
child. So to you, this is foreign and they are far behind, and they need to damn near be prepared to go into a corporate American job at 16,
Mm-hmm.
let you tell it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the function becomes to realize you're not having to raise them to come up in a world like you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not rescuing them to be there for them emotionally, right? So what did you need? How could you tell a parent, right? From without having the understanding of being a parent. That's why I'm asking you this, because it's so core,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's just so matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about the bills. I don't care about like all of these other things. What do you need? What does a kid need for their parent to be able to create the space but not rescue them?
Um, I think the presence, right? Needing their presence, but I think the aspect, and we just was talking about it, modeling it. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the big piece. Um, like you say, not rescuing, like, oh, hey, I'm coming to save the day or whatever, whatever. But
So talk to me then about to the kid, right? Help me understand it, because you do have that dynamic. Help that kid understand that, listen, things happen, right? You got to take accountability, right? How do you help them and teach them how to take accountability, right, without losing self-worth, right? A lot of kids, they feel like, oh, I ain't
mm-hmm.
nothing now, or if I take accountability for this mistake or this bad decision, it's going to label me. That's what we talked about with our
Right.
teens, the labels that come.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to them as to relieve that fear, and how can parents really kind of help them navigate that?
Well, I think and I don't know if we've gotten to this point in any of our parent discussions, just, chopping up with our parents, but the reframing,
Mm.
right? Because that that's a negative thought that's being planted in that
Mm-hmm.
moment.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying it has been rooted, right? If it goes you haven't been able to kind of,
Unattended,
yeah,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
unattended, and you just allow that thought in that kid mind or whatever it is they're feeling to fester, then that becomes something they'll believe. But
Mm-hmm.
if the parent is able to immediately, like we say, always create the safe space for the child to express even what they're feeling in whatever the moment is, right? And then from there, be able to model what grace looks like, right? Be able to model what
Yeah.
love looks like, kindness, even in that moment,
Yeah.
and just let's reframe that thought. And I think that's even the aspect of teaching accountability. Yeah, it happened, but how we were just talking, even with our teens,
Yeah.
yesterday is yesterday.
That's it.
We're here today,
Yeah.
right? Tomorrow is not promised. So
Earlier today was earlier today.
earlier today, and so the
You
only
know,
thing we can do within this moment is
deal with it now.
that's it.
I want to bring some context here, parent to parent,
Mm-hmm.
right? So parent to parent, I want to bring context to you because I had an incident just yesterday
Mm-hmm.
with Evan. We ain't even talked about this. Makai goes to pick the kids up. Lonnie had a stomach ache,
Mm-hmm.
right? Y'all know I got twins. Lonnie had a stomach ache, so she goes to pick the twins up. She gets Lonnie, and she called, so now they both just come on, right? Both come on out, and we'll take y'all both home early. Lonnie comes out, or Evan comes out, visibly, clearly upset. Something is going on, right? So much so even the secretary asks, Evan, you okay? I'll be fine. Type. Get in the car. I guess he didn't say much. Makai asked him, what's going on? Nothing, I'm just tired. She gets an email, and that's when you were over in the office, and she's just like, look at your email. And I just kind of zoned out, right? You were talking about something, I just zoned out. It's because I look at this email, and it's from his science teacher.
Mm.
And this email goes on to say, basically has the dean on it, and it goes on to talk about there being an incident, and Evan going to be written up. It's going to be written up, and
Mm-hmm.
have to make an official report, and it's inappropriate touching, whatever. Inappropriate touching.
Mm-hmm.
Parents, here's one thing. Rest in peace, my mom. I had a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
My mother empowered me so much to stand on my respect, dignity, integrity,
Mm-hmm.
but specifically my dignity. She sent me to a Catholic school where I was one of 3 black kids, K through 8. 4 black kids, K through 8. Hear what I said? One of 4 black kids, K through 8th grade. And it was a big school, okay? Catholic school. My dignity. She had a conversation with me about my dignity. She would always tell me, if a teacher talked to you crazy, you stand up and say, I'm going to call my mom. You can leave.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call my mother. She would tell me, if a teacher wanted to give you leave, go, call me. As soon as you get to the, call me immediately. Don't talk to nobody. Call me.
Look, I done
I'm
heard
on
them
the
plenty of
way.
stories.
Right? On the way. I'm talking about my mom came call. I would tell teachers, you don't want me to call my mom. I'm gonna call you. You don't want to call my mama. Cause I'm gonna tell you right now.
You going to?
Listen,
Okay.
call her. I'm telling you, call my mother. Because I realized earlier my mother is, when she come here, she's going to be on my team. No questions asked. She don't even want an explanation. She's coming to ride for me, period. Now, I know if I was wrong, I'm going to get handled at the house.
Right.
But as
She
far as
still, when
here
she-
in front of
right.
anybody, I could be dead wrong, right? And my mother is going to be right for me. So I say all that to say this. Get this email. I go through and I read it. Now, you know the history and who we are. I don't know if you knew that, Miss Teacher, but I understand the fullness of your protocol. I understand the fullness of process. I understand all of what this is, okay? So the tonality in your email is wrong. It's off, and I don't appreciate it. However, you sent it to one of his parents. We right here. We the same. Why would you send it to only her as a black kid and not me? So first, I'm going to respond to you, and I'm going to address that. If there's anything with these two, with them two there, anything that you feel worthy enough to send to parents, immediately send to both on the initial correspondence. But I go on. I'm going to leave her to the side. I responded like a superhero. All my son. I don't need to even talk to him yet. I know what's in my son. Right? So I know the tone of your email is not the actual factuals of what happened. Right? So, boom. I get home. Now,
I know that'll piss him off. I already know.
Bruh, Evan, so you know my son. You know how youthful, jovial he is, right?
Always.
Kind-hearted, just easy living, bro.
Yeah.
Peaceful living. That's what he, carefree.
In his corner.
A youthful
Lonnie,
carelessness, right?
Yep.
So I get home. My son, he has the best gaming system and setup that I've seen as a kid. He's in his bed, lights off, just laid across the bed. What's going on, buddy? See, as a parent, you're supposed to get emotional. Like I'm getting emotional right now, just going back and seeing my son in that space because I know the damage that it created for him all day, how long he was thinking like this.
Yeah.
So I said to him, what's going on, buddy? You all right? He looked up at me. He said, yeah, I'm okay. I'm just tired.
You're like, I know you, son.
So I'm trying to measure him and calculate because I know what happened. I already went into action. I looked at him and I said, look at me. He looked up. I said, is this about what happened at school today, bud? He said, and even before, like that wasn't, I said, you don't worry about it. Your daddy already handled it. We Superman. You're not in trouble at all. You did nothing wrong, right?
Man.
You're going to tell me about the story and you're going to tell me every single detail so I know how to fight for you.
Man, that right there, that's powerful.
He looked at me. And it took a second for him to really realize, like he was trying to say, I was like, no, don't tell me y'all were horseplay. No, I need you to tell me exactly what happened, buddy. Like, and not from a perspective of like, you think you're going to get in trouble. You're not. I'm telling you right now, there's no negative consequence that you will face for us having this conversation. I just need to understand what fully took place. I know how they said it. It wasn't what it was. Yeah. So you need to tell me every detail. Bring me into the table, which you even demonstrate it with me. Give me. And I started seeing when your kid talks in their kid language to you, they're telling you the truth. He was like, oh, all right. So like, right.
Oh, yeah. He was like,
now I'm in there.
You done created that safe space for
I'm
him
in there,
right there out
right?
the gate.
He said, all right, so this happened. And I'm going to go one step back because before that safe space was fully created and the floodgates opened up, I was like, what are you so scared? What had you like so scared? What did you think you were going to get in trouble with? Like, you thought you were going to get a whooping or something when you got home? He was like, no, I thought they were going to send me to Raw.
Oh, wow.
Bro. And I'm like, where did that come from, buddy? Now, their school of choice, when we went on their orientation, and he told me this, right? He literally told me, I was like, where did this come from? Later, he was like, when they went on their orientation, their assistant principal and Auntie Stacey, right? Auntie Stacey, were just kind of warning him a little bit about, hey, behavior issues, absences, your grade, like you really got to be in your stuff because how school of choice actually does work is they don't have to keep you at that school. If you're behavior issues and not going good grades, always absent, they can just say go back to the school that you're zoned for, right, and just send you to raw. That would be his school that he's zoned for. That was the 6th grade. This is 7th grade, and that's been in his head the whole time. So when he's talking about being fearful of getting a referral, my son was walking around for over a year scared to get a referral because thought he was going to have to go to the other school that he was definitely not wanting to go to.
Right.
How many times did he not stand up for himself? How many times did he, because he had that fear? So I told him, I said, son, that's not how it works. You will not go to that school. I'll pull you and you'll go to homeschool before you go over to that school. And I saw literally the weight of the world come off his shoulders. And then he was like, all right, this is what happened. And was able to tell me. So parents.
Man, that's powerful, bro.
You have to get to the core. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say that's powerful, man. To just be able to listen to that aspect, and have that safety. It almost, if I can even just imagine, it's just like I got you,
bro. To tell him,
I don't know how many, man. I needed that as a kid.
Yeah.
I think just even when, because kids know.
Yeah.
Right. You know, but like you say, if that goes unnoticed or unattended, you're moving or doing everything in fear.
Yeah.
And so, man, that's huge, bro.
That's
huge.
It made me say this to parents, and I was talking to Chris a little bit later about this. When you have a child who's emotionally intelligent and sensitive, parents, it's important for you to start showing up and showing out for your respect and dignity and character of your child. That's when it's time for you to come up to the school and cuss somebody out. That's when it's time for you to act the fool. Is with the teacher who is trying to make your child, trying to label your child, feel small, create these. If I would have let this happen, right? And I'll tell the story was not at all. It was him and his homies playing, and they were smacking each other. And you know how kids always, oh, Evan, you farted, and they talk loud, trying to kind of slightly embarrass you a little bit, but tell you what you did. They was doing that, and they were hitting each other, and Evan smacked the dude on the top of the butt or whatever. Oh, Evan, you hit my butt. And now the teacher going to come over and try to give the student an incident report and make the kid write a referral, an incident report on Evan. And the kid was like, no, I don't. We were just joking. We were just playing.
That is crazy.
But they're going to want to take that down to inappropriate. You think you're going to put that on my son's official record? Inappropriate touching for having.
Yeah.
Let's do this. You don't know who I am. Let's do this. And I put this in the email. Let's do this. I need to see your lesson plans for the quarter, because how do they have that much time in their class to do that? If it's that, you put how many kids in your class? You put all of the kids in your class at jeopardy because you have poor classroom management. That's what it sounds like. So it sounds like we need to have a meeting with the principal, the assistant principal, the dean, yourself, and both of the students. Let's make ourselves available this week, early next week. Dean Harold, I need to see this next week. I'll be up there.
Yeah.
Bullet points 1, 2, 3, and I put them. These are the initial questions that come to mind when I read your email. What was happening in the class? Where exactly did you have this conversation with my son at? And when you had this conversation with my son, why did you not call me before you did that?
Boy, let me tell you.
Ooh wee, boy.
Well, I already know that had
boy,
you
understand. I'm right now, y'all. I'm about ready to get the hell up, and I forgot what time I'm supposed to go to this. So,
man, I already know that. I was about to go off something, but I think they're actually now in the process, legislative wise. I think they're in the process of changing stuff like that here in the state, where the schools are doing things and not involving the parents.
Bro, and I told my son straight out the gate, son, exactly what Margaret Mary told me, son. If you ever feel threatened, if you ever feel afraid, if you ever feel disrespected, and you know where those feelings happen at. You know what they feel like. And I need to call my daddy. There's and it's not an asking.
No.
I need to call my dad. Which phone?
I'm stepping out.
And I am. And you have that. There's nobody. Go report to the office. Call your daddy. Don't say nothing to nobody until I get there. And I'm on the way. And when I'm on the way, I already told him, I'm not coming to figure out what happened. I'm coming to fight for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm immediately on your team. I don't need an explanation. I'm not listening to nothing. If you're sitting in front of them and they calling me and you think that they telling me a story and they lie, listen, I don't care what they say, boy. When I come, I'm on your team.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that we got to figure out, we do that at the house.
Yep, that's later. Yep.
But when I come, you don't have to have a piece of fear in your heart that I'm going to come and embarrass you or come and chastise you. I'm coming.
That's it right there.
Bro.
I tell you, I remember one instance I saw that as a kid. I think I was in 3rd grade. And there's this one dude, his dad tall, bro. I don't know what happened. But whatever happened with his son and whoever an administrator or whoever that, oh man, they had to pick this dude up on the shoulder like to carry him because he was about to.
Bro.
I mean, the dude was towering over everybody. And
bro.
I think that after that they had to get a barrier in office. You
Bro.
couldn't get get a gate. I was like, oh man, but
nah,
he was going to bat for his sons.
He looked at me, and I said, son, there's no one that you need to fear. Your parents are really them.
Yeah.
And we really coming behind you with everything.
Yeah.
She is going to regret that she tried my son.
Mm-hmm.
It's me versus you, lady.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I don't lose, cause
Look, I was about to say.
Listen, I don't believe in losing because I fight dirty.
Yeah,
listen, I win dirty, I fight dirty.
Look,
You
I
understand?
already know that. But no, that right there is so important for kids.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's just super.
Do me a favor. What's the tool? What's the tool that we're gonna leave our parents with?
Man, family repair script. This is where parents learn a simple model for acknowledging harm and initiating reconnection. Phew.
Modeling harm and reconnection.
You just talked about that right there.
Teens walk through a past mistake, right? So a lot of the times we gotta allow our teens to walk through a past mistake by answering what happened. Oh, you know what? Let me move. I'm over here on the other way, right? So parents, you have to be able to model this by being able to initiate the reconnection, right? When we were talking about earlier, like you said earlier, we talked about tending the garden, right? Mm-hmm. When you talk about tending the garden, that's when you can say, okay, let's reflect. There were some harmful things that I may have said. There were some harmful things that I may have done. And that's when you go back and you let it be known. Here's what happened. Here's how I felt. Here's what I'm working on. And here's how I want us to move forward. When you can do those things, it's really sitting inside of the energy, the emotion, the consequence, and then creating together. Co-creating solutions is huge for you and your family. Any relationship. When you're when you're mending, reconnecting, it's really about mutuality, like being able to co-create whatever this solution is. So everybody feels really committed and connected to the actions that it's going to take on their behalf. Yeah. You know, you don't want to be like, yeah, I just really want to get there. I'll do it. You want to be able to reflect and all have participation and say, yeah, you know what? I know it's going to take me sitting down with you and doing this X, Y, and Z, and I'm willing to do that. So go through, ask those questions, and we put them in the chat and talk to them about how they can find us, man.
Man, as always, parents, that right chat box. Oh man, that chat box. My tongue get twisted all the time.
I'm telling you, you got to brush your teeth more.
That chat box in the right hand corner of your community, top right. You can always connect with any of our coaches and or book a one-on-one session when you just need to chop it up, or you want to connect with additional resources even beyond just a coach. We have them available for our parents because like always, we do life together.
We do life together.
I tell you, we do it together and we got each other's back.
That's a fact. Listen, and you guys also know that we are weekly with our parent-to-parent Zoom calls and webinar sessions, our parent-to-parent life group. So make sure it's Thursdays. Make sure on Thursdays we jump on at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, or 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Don't come at 8:30. You're going to be late. But if you come. You still be all right. You still got some time. So we'll be there 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock weekly. So we'll be there. I'll be there. We see y'all. Love you.
Love y'all.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Finding Life Podcast, parent-to-parent coaching corner with Life and Coach John. Remember, perfection isn't the goal. Repair is. Model growth, lead with honesty, and raise with love.